I can't let my life pass.
As women, we tend to forget that we have a clock running in our head.
My brother took that step. Actually, he took the bold decision that, okay, I'll join the business and both of you study. So I credit a lot of my career to him.
Men are our biggest support system. Pause. For yourself, all the eureka moments happen when you pause.
We have heard their interesting journey and the work that they have done, and the kind of landscape they have been exploring, and the way they have been chasing their dreams. It's phenomenal. It's an inspiration for all of us. So I'll start my discussion by asking all three of you a common question. So I would like to understand, like, each one of you has a unique story of breaking boundaries. So I'll start with Ritu first. So could you share a moment with us when you felt that this is what I need to do to define my bold leadership, or take that decisive thing which will define my entire course of action and transform me?
I think it's hard to say one because I have taken multiple. And I just want to say it started when I actually entered the workforce way back in 2000. I'm from a very small town. I'm from Jammu. And it was very hard for me to come to a city like Bombay to work. It was not easy, right? I still remember my first, interface with VT, because I used to work for Reliance, and I had joined as a management trainee there. And I felt, oh my God, this is an ocean of people. How will I live in this city? That was the first interaction. But of course, it was not easy. It was hard. But eventually I evolved. I think the second one happened when I moved from Bombay to Pune. So I moved because my husband shifted to Pune. And it was not an easy decision because I was doing very well. I was heading the talent management for an HDFC bank, which is the largest bank, a private bank in India. I had to give up and I had to come to Pune. And I felt, what am I doing in my life? I'm come to join this company, Amdocs, which I had not even heard name back then because I had all my life lived in Bombay from career perspective. But I think what I did, I took that bold decision. I took a dip and I came here to Pune, but no regrets. Rest is a history. My last role with Amdocs was I was the global head of talent management. My predecessor was in Israel and was the first Indian woman who was leading that role. So I think, this was another second bold decision. And I would say the third bold decision, I'm a crazy woman. I always want to do something which is not usual. Again, at the helm of my career, when everything was going great, I decided one fine day I want to give it up all. And give it up all and go into a vacuum. And which I did, and I'm doing it now. And by founding Element Skill, because I think this is my time to give back to the society. And in Element Skill, we only hire girls from tier 2, tier 3 cities, whom I am teaching everything what I know from my past 25 years, which is consulting, which is recruitment, which is, skilling. And I was just telling to my co-panelists some time back, I said, they never let me down because they are very hungry. And I think these are the 3 steps I feel I have taken very bold ones. But all these 3 steps were hard. I went through my own pains, but all the 3 decisions never let me down.
Thank you. Vishaka, we'd like to know your bold steps, how you have broken boundaries, because you're managing 2 portfolios. One is on one side of the spectrum, which is AI, and another one is wellness space. So these are 2 different dimensions. So could you just tell us?
Yeah, my bold step actually started even before I started my entrepreneurial journey. This was when I had just finished my engineering, and I got into a good school in United States. But unfortunately, at that time, my family was going through deep financial distress. And the fees at that time, this was back in 2000, was $50,000 just for the tuition alone. Leave alone your living expense, everything else. So, and I really wanted to go. And, my father said, I just have $5,000. That's it. And that's all I have right now. I looked at him and I said, okay, give me that $5,000. And I left. And from there, taking a loan, working 2 jobs, and then finishing the MBA school with 3 jobs in hand, and fulfilling the loan, that really, brought the best in me that, no matter what situation can be, if you really have that, passion and that, perseverance to do something really good. Because right from the beginning, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to create that social impact. Nature just supports you. So that was the first step, just to go and do what your heart really wants. That was a very big, bold step. The second one was, of course, this was the time when, again, in business, there are so many ups and downs. And this was a time, almost about 2 decades ago, when one of our clients, almost 50% of our business, we just came to know that the government, this was in United States, the government has just, locked their office and a huge payment of ours was stuck. And anyone else would have been would have lost hope. But we in turn, both Dheeraj and me, said, it's okay, that's fine. We're just going to look at this as one of the things that happened. And this just the way we turned around everything, working day and night, just gathering everybody in the company, that was another turnaround moment to the level that today, we synergize.ai, out of 1,300 applications, AI companies, we got the award for top 2 companies in AI. And the third one was actually last year. So Prakritik Lifestyle was started actually in the pandemic time. Again, by Dheeraj, this was in a way to bring in Ayurveda to support, youth as an additional income, as a spirit of entrepreneurship. But last year, having taught meditation and Sudarshan Kriya to so many people, and I felt that today, if you look around, right, every single day, there's a news of a 28-year-old or a 30-year-old dying of a heart attack. There's news of suicides. And And every time I see that news, something in me is like, what am I doing? So the entire ethos behind Prakritik lifestyle is to bring good health to every home, whether it is through organic products, whether it is through Ayurveda, whether it is through ancient Nadi Pariksha, which not only tells you about your physical but even mental and emotional state of mind, and also global healing therapies, which is the need of the hour today. Don't think that if someone is smiling next to you right now, they are in a very happy space. There is everyone out there who needs help in some capacity or the other. And today, we've built a AI in mental wellness, where you can log on to our website and it'll talk to you just like your own guide without any judgment. So, and why was that a bold step? We could have just easily continued just with We Synergize and just focusing on that. And I said, there'll be many, many people who will create AI companies and, top IT companies and unicorns. But what about the people who really need that help, who really need that support, and who really need that care that they're looking out for right now? Yeah.
I think very well said. I can just relate to it, Vishaka, because when I started podcasting, I had this thought in me, like, I'm a marketer. There are so many marketing companies and there are so many companies who are offering marketing solutions. What is different in me? So what am I doing differently? And I said, can I create a platform where I will give voice to people? They can share their stories, and we make it very candid, no script, nothing, straight coming from the heart. And in fact, Vishaka was just telling us that whatever we do, it is very authentic, real, because we are working from the space of heart. And that's what she's saying. That is the difference that we are creating in this world. I think that's what she stands for: authenticity and relatability. Thank you so much. Manisha, what's your bold step?
So I think very similar stories I have to both of them. So when I was in college, so I've been in a boarding through and through from a very young age. And when I reached college, so I was very good at academics, and so we wanted admission in DU because I was studying in DU in Delhi. And मतलब set था कि BCom honors लेना है because that's the only aspiration whoever wants to go to DU. But then I did not get a good college, so अभी क्या करे? So then my brother said कि चलो economics honors ले लो. I had no idea about economics. I said ठीक है, जो मिल रहा है ले लेते हैं. And I took up economics honors and I studied economics. In the first year, I told my dad I'm going to fail at this because it was really tough. But then वो fail होने का option नहीं था because then I had to sit at home and do nothing. And शादी हो जाती maybe. So I was like, नहीं, fail होने का तो option नहीं है. So then किसी तरह खींच तान के I did my economics honors. And then after that again, my dad was like, बस, we were three of us, three siblings. My brother was preparing for medical and I had a younger sister also. So my dad said, I cannot, fund all of you now for your education. So either both of you study or your brother studies. So my brother took that step. Actually, he took the bold decision that, okay, I'll join the business and both of you study. So I credit a lot of my career to him, actually. So
then very rare to find out.
Yeah. So then I came to Bombay and did my MBA. And after coming to this city is very different from Delhi in terms of its vibe, people, everything. And living in Delhi for so long, Bombay was a shocker. It's so fast. So like, यहाँ तो रह ही नहीं सकते. But adjust हो गए. Then got a job. Then I got a job as in HDFC Bank. That was my first campus placement, ma'am. And I got into private banking division over there. But the requirements the bank had, or the kind of, the rigor it required, and it was a sales job. And I was like, ये तो नहीं होगा मेरे से. So maybe I'll again sit at home now. But then again, I got the opportunity, okay, you try marketing. I had never done marketing. I had never studied marketing, but I took it up. कि ठीक है कर लेंगे. So it was every time it was, you don't have a choice, so hence take this up. But I would say every time I got the opportunity, it helped me. I took up marketing again. As I moved organizations, every time it was a different vertical of marketing which I took up. Like I learned PR in Vodafone, and I was not prepared for any role, but I took it up and I learned a lot of it. And I think that's what shaped my learning about the domain. And when I actually got the position of a marketing head at Edelweiss Mutual Fund, for a long period of time, I did not believe that, yes, I could get that position. And
Imposter syndrome.
yeah, so okay,
Typical
maybe I'm
female.
not worth it, or maybe I don't know enough. So I used to actually go out of my way to prepare myself before every meeting, before every discussion. Kuch bhi dikhana hai boss ko, no, I need to know everything, whether that's required for the meeting or not. And I think the most bold step which I took very recently is of quitting my corporate job. And a lot of industry folks ask me, यार सब तो set चल रहा था, क्यों छोड़ दिया?
मैंने भी actually सोचा
Yeah.
था.
So
I had this question.
and I just had a baby 6 months back. So, but yes, I thought, I actually felt that my creativity was getting very restricted, and I wanted to do certain more things in life which a regular full-time job was not offering. And hence I took that bold steps. It has been 6 months now, still learning every day, doubting myself every day, having second thoughts also every day, but moving on.
Thank you so much. Manisha and I, we met at IIM Kolkata, where we did a course together. And that's how our journey started. And she has been an inspiring, friend who I live up, who I, see as an inspiration, because she wears multiple hats. I didn't know she's so good at sketching, illustration, along with, again, left brain, right brain, finance, logical, analytical, and then another, like very good with murals and illustrations. Amazing. It's phenomenal to see. So, I want to ask you, how do you all manage multiple roles, multiple responsibilities? What's that one thing that keeps you going, that inspires you every single day? Manisha.
So for me, I think it's I just want to do it. I'm not satisfied easily. मुझे और करना है. I want to do this also, that also. A lot of time it comes as you're not content in what you have, but I think it's more than contentment. I find a lot of contentment in learning new things, doing more things. So that's what keeps me driving. It's a lot of time management and prioritizing. Now that I have a very small child also. So you have to let go of something to be good at something. Honestly, you can't do everything because you have 24 hours in a day only. So yes, prioritizing is something which has really helped me in trying to do whatever I want to do.
Vishaka.
So, one thing that keeps me going is seeing the transformation. So I became an art of living teacher back in 2010. And I think it'll take me one whole day or maybe days to share with you the kind of experiences and the transformation that I've seen. I'll share just one. So this was back 2012-13. In one of our courses, Art of Living programs, there was one lady, and whenever I would say, okay, let us sit with our eyes closed, she would just not close her eyes. So in the break time, I called her. I said, what's happening? Why are you not closing your eyes? And she said that she was abused so badly by her husband. He would hit her with kitchen utensils on her forehead, that she was in such a shock all the time that she would not even have, she would not even want to close her eyes. And by the end of the 6th day, not only was she meditating, but in the following courses, she sort of became a leader and a volunteer to bring other such women And then she stood up for herself from being so meek to actually going to the court, filing a divorce, standing up for herself, finding her career. So, when you see, and this is just one of them, right? We've seen so many transformations in the last 15 years. That is what, keeps me going. And then many times I think, and I remember this story, it's about this grandfather and grandson walking on the beach. And on the shore, there are hundreds of fish that have come on the shore. And then the grandson picks up a fish and puts it back in the water, picks up another fish and puts it back in the water. And the grandfather says, "What are you doing? How is it going to make a difference?" And the grandson says, "It made a difference to this one."
Wow.
It made a difference to this one. So, how much ever that may be in terms of hundreds and thousands, if as an entrepreneur, as a women leader, I can come out there and share my story and be there for your story. I just want to say that all of us together, and I think that's something that all of us resonate with, right? We are here for you because someone was there for us. And that's why we are here for you. Yeah. Thank you.
I think there is one mantra I have for my life. I can't let my life pass. I can't let it pass because, all of us in this room, we are very fortunate. We have 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 eyes, brain, and an education behind us. And with all that, everything behind us, if we let our life pass, that is really a shame. This is what I feel. And I was telling Manisha today in the morning, I thought about my 1-year journey, and it's an International Women's Day. And I really found so many women who have helped me in my journey. And you never know who all you are impacting, unknowingly and unknowingly, right? I met, Bhagishri today. She said she and me have been interacting more than a year on the Teams through a project, but I have never seen her. She said, I just came to meet you today. You don't know how many lives you are impacting. And you have to be very cognizant of this fact that how are you living your life? Because you are fortunate. First, you are alive. Second, you are healthy. Third, you are educated. And if all these 3, you let it pass, that is very, very sorry. And I think, Monica, this line, I can't let my life pass, keeps me up and running. And I tend to give best in whatever I'm doing.
Wow. Thank you so much. Such a powerful message all 3 of them have given. It's so inspiring, right? As I'm hearing, I'm getting goosebumps because it's inspiring me so much. And, I'm seeing already shift happening in me. So what about you guys? Are you getting inspired? Yes. Right? All of you? Okay. So for the audience here, I would like to know, what are the 3 powerful lessons that you would like to share for them to lead from the front? Ritu.
I think the first powerful lesson is own your life. It's no one else's life. It's your life, it's your decision, and you have to own it. The second is don't shy from asking for help. You cannot do it all alone, right? Go ask for help. And the last but not least, I think that is the most one. Whatever you do, be happy. Everyone tells me, you have been crazy, you did this, you did that. I said, doesn't matter. Whatever I am doing, I'm happy with that. And that matters most to me. So don't get influenced. How is society? How are people? They are, this thing. It's me. So I think these are the 3 lessons which I want to give, which I really love.
So the 3 things that I want to say is, the first one is, every question starts with a why. I would just recommend you taking the longest time in that why. Why do you want to do this? Why are you here? What's the reason? What's the outcome that you're looking at? Just look and evaluate and think about that why. The second thing that I want to say is create your ecosystem. Only when you have a supportive ecosystem, whether in office or at home, then you will be able to go faster. Yeah. If we are here right now, there's someone at home who's taking care of everything for us, right? There's someone in office who's taking care of us. So create that trustworthy ecosystem and really take care of that ecosystem, because you are there because of that ecosystem. Yeah. And number 3, which may sound very simple, but it's very deep and profound. I want to say pause. Pause. For yourself, pamper yourself. See, all the eureka moments happen when you pause. We are always, as women know, we are at it. Iske baad ke, iske baad, iske baad, iske baad, iske baad. Pause. You have already achieved everything. You're already a winner. But just take the time to sit back, pause, reflect, pamper yourself, get a marma, get a head massage, get a facial, just pause. You see, you will be more productive when you pause.
So well said, na? Because we, as women, we tend to forget that we have a clock running in our head, and we have so many things. We start overthinking, and then everything is overwhelming, right? Yeah.
So for me, the 3 lessons I also follow very closely is, one, I believe in a power which is there, and I believe everything works out at the end. You just need to believe in that power, that there is somebody up there looking up for you. Second, I feel is being financially literate, especially as women, is very important. Knowing your own money, understanding your own money, how much ever you earn, where it is coming from, where it is going, it's very important. It will help you a lot in life, because all of us earn or will be earning. So knowing that, as simple as knowing your taxation slabs, all of these are very basic things, but it's very important. You'll be able to help, maybe the house help which comes to your house, as simple as that. Third, I believe in finding the right mentors for you. I have always got a lot of guidance from my mentors. Which can be, and your mentors doesn't need to be people who are older than you. Your peers can be your mentor, your seniors can be your mentor, your people at home can also be your mentors. But look for the mentors and who you align with them on the goals, and both of you have same vision. So mentoring really helps. So look for mentors.
Thank you. Vishaka, what does power mean to you?
To be able to utilize in the right way.
Okay. Manisha, what about you?
To be able to, influence people in a positive way. That, you can bring a change, and you can get more people along with you.
Power to me means freedom. Whether it is about money, whether it is about doing things, whether it's helping someone, I need to be free.
I think we have had interesting conversations around your journeys. So one of the biggest challenges, what was one challenge that you had and you successfully, could navigate through it?
I think there are many challenges. It's very difficult to pinpoint on the one challenge. But I just want to talk more in the context of today's days, which is Women's Day. I remember, while I was at Amdocs, there was a role expansion done. As a part of, there was a consolidation of function which was done. So as per that, even the people who were doing technical training, they would come under me and they would, be a part of my organization. And of course, they were all engineers who would kind of be the part of that organization. And the person who was the senior most, so even the base was shifting. I was shifting from one side of the building to the another and new cabin and all that. And I think one of the statements which he said, and I saw the coldness in the team in my acceptance, said, "Aurat hame kya sikhayegi," So it was like, okay, what is she going to teach? And I took it with a pinch of salt. But I think what I did right at that point in time was I didn't react. Neither I took it to my ego. I said, it says ignorance. Let it move on. And eventually, I think I worked with people who were more in favor, who were supporters. And I think slowly, the size of the supporters increased. And to my surprise, since I didn't react and I focused on the center of influence and not on center of concern, over a period of time, he became my biggest supporter in the organization 6 months down the line.
So for me, the biggest challenge, I think, was overcoming my own underconfidence. I would have never thought that ever I'll sit on a stage and talk to people. In a team meeting also, I would not stand up and talk. So it was a lot of effort which I took myself, and obviously there were people in my friends and family who kept pushing me. You know this. You have to stand up. You have to go and ask for it. So I think as women, we are very bad at asking. We feel अपने आप किसी ने दे दिया तो ठीक है. So I think that took a lot of time for me, but slowly when I started doing it and I started realizing कि बोलोगे नहीं तो कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला. So I think that was the biggest challenge which I overcame, and it has helped me a lot.
Thanks. Manisha, you have Vishaka.
As she rightly said, challenges around you happen. And that is something you will anyways overcome. That's the easier challenge. The real challenge are the things with your own self, which no one is even seeing. So for me was number one, and which is, not spoken about so much, but something which really takes huge amount of energy away from you, is patience. A single most attribute that every entrepreneur or professional needs to have is patience. Because in this day and age of, Shark Tank and unicorns and this race, how can I achieve that C-level position in 2 years, 3 years? You need to have that patience. And I think that only comes, when you meditate and know that, have that faith that the best is going to happen. So most of the time, the challenges are that you are facing with your own self and with your own mind. And I will tell you, if you are able to overcome those challenges, then you can overcome anything in the world.
Yeah. Absolutely. Ritu, have you felt any bias as a female? Because you have had many opportunities where you had male teams and you have managed big global teams. तो आपने इस पूरे चीज को navigate कैसे किया as a woman?
I think, I faced quite a few times, and not only as a woman, sometimes even progressing too fast in your career. Because there's a challenge. They think that, she's a woman. Then second, she is young. Then third, she's short on the lighter side. What is she going to do now? And I think this is all I faced. But I think what really helped me, which I always kept going back, and to the point which you said about to the self. Because the moment you go to your own self, it helps you to boost your confidence. And it also helps you to be more assertive. Because when you are dealing with these things, your half the battle is won if your core doesn't change. You stay intact. The problem happens when your core gets attacked and you are not able to deal with. You're broken from inside. Your slight signals, like even a comment in a meeting room, just drops you down. But I think I always felt that I have to be like that frog in the well who doesn't listen, that people are telling her that, don't climb, it's a too big well, you will never reach up, because she's deaf. So I acted deaf in those situations and I kept going back to my core. And I think that's what helped me.
Thanks. Manisha, you have managed a role which is a male dominated role. She's been in the finance space, and you have trained financial advisors, over 500 financial advisors, and most of them were males, right? As a female lead, how did you manage that? How did you manage their egos, and you are young and you're dynamic?
So honestly, I think I was fortunate enough that I actually did not face a gender bias throughout my career, whether it was getting an opportunity or whether it was getting a job or anything. So that fortunately I never faced. But yes, I think owning your expertise and being very sure about taking credit for that really helps. Because it just takes your confidence level to some other level, and people who, whether they are men or women, they will start respecting you when you own that expertise. Yes, that I know my shit. So that was one. And yes, I did face a bias, but which is during maternity, because it was assumed within the organization that I may not come back. And so it was not like, you've never asked me, how do you assume that I'll never come back? And when I decided to leave, 6 months after maternity, I joined. And after 6 months, I took the decision that I want to start on my own. I don't want to do a regular full-time job. Again, the perception was now because you need to spend more time with your child. Even today, I work even on Sundays now. So I actually don't work from homes because obviously the child doesn't let me work. But now I spend more hours away from her. So that's a bias, which I think, I don't know when will it end, but for women, there are stages in life when that bias will always be there. Maternity or marriage or, elder care at home. So yes, during my maternity, I definitely faced that. But otherwise, I've been quite fortunate in my career. But yes, owning your own expertise and showcasing that helps you handle a lot of things.
Thank you, Vishaka.
So your question is, how did I overcome bias?
Yes.
Right?
Any male bias that you face.
Yeah.
As a woman.
So Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar ji says that men by default are made egoistic. Okay. And women are emotional. So he says, okay, how do you make sure women is happy? Give her your credit card, take care of her emotions. If she is complaining about, her family, you just be a silent listener because you never know when she's going to turn around. And on the other hand, men are made egoistic. So to pump their ego. So over the years, and I would say, I've learned this the hard way, that very skillfully, if you can, by pumping male egos, you can get a lot of work done.
So it's a great lesson for all of us. You have to keep saying your spouse that you're great. You're good today. You're looking,
not just spouse, everyone, and I have to tell you, and I'm sure each one of you even believes this, men are our biggest support system. Just all they want is just take care of them, and not take care of them physically, emotionally. It's that emotional intimacy that they're looking for. Whether it is with your kids, whether it is with your siblings, whether it is at workplace, do they feel connected with you? Do they feel that you are there to take care of them? And the day they start feeling that, they are going to be your biggest cheerleaders. Yes.
Thank you. So, some questions from the audience.
I'm Neha. First of all, I have this question for Ritu ma'am. How do you know when is the right time? Okay, what is your calling? Like you mentioned that you left your corporate job and, you decided to, leave on everything and then go for something to contribute to the society. Probably I am in that phase of my life, around 16 years of IT experience, and I'm in my transition phase. And probably at that point in time, I'm still, questioning myself and having that second thought, every day, the way, ma'am was saying. So it was all relatable. So how do you know when is the right time to take that decision?
Will depend on the stage of your life. And I was just talking to Manisha and we were just chatting offline. I told her I felt I was late. But when I did my own analysis, I told her I was not late. If I would have done this 10 years back, I had my loans to pay. I had to manage my finances. So I can't be foolish, right? I would say just that, I just want to do and I want to just be passionate about things. I think there's a stage which comes in. You have to have your boxes for decision. Box is your financials. Box is your family. And box is your own north. And when you see these three boxes and you kind of tick and cross them, and then you feel now I am comfortable to take this decision, then you take that decision. Otherwise, if you do not take this, if you take decision without cognizance of these three boxes, you will end up burning yourself more rather than, kind of gaining out of it. Because these timings have to be a combination of emotion and rationale. We can't overcrowd emotions and go completely, other way around. So I think that would be my answer to this question.
I feel women don't celebrate themselves. Women are always in rush of being something. I have to be like this. I have to prove. Why not celebrate the womanhood we are? This body is not limitation, but it is an opportunity for us. What do you think about it?
Since I have been in the talent management for many years and I used to do the succession planning for the organizations. And then they would always say that, men can do these technical transformations, they can achieve the numbers and all that. As you rightly said, women have to operate from the seat of strength and not from the seat of weakness. And what is the strength we have? We are more empathetic. We are more multitasking. We can deal with ambiguity better than men. So I think what is important, rather than saying I lack something, look at what do I have. And when you start operating from the seat of strength, you'll automatically start, celebrating yourself. And I really liked your answer when you said that it's not about yourself. It's about they need you emotionally. So it's again your strength. Rather than showing dependency, give them what they want. And I think that the moment you change your mindset from weakness to strength, it will be a celebration and not a struggle.
So, women, again, they have the breadth of emotions and they have the depth of emotions. So on one side, you could also be more prone to fears, anxiety. And on this side, you can also be extremely resilient. That's the reason why women have been given the power to bear a child, right? You've done that multiple times, right? Whether it is going into a new environment, whether it is going into a new family, everything. So that resilience is in you. So entire life is all about focusing on the right, the resilience, the strengths, as she's saying, and focusing on the abundance. Once you start focusing more and more on abundance and gratitude and for everything that you have in life, you will feel so powerful and so much of abundance around you that it'll shine as good luck, it'll shine as prosperity, and it'll shine as your aura. So I would just say, focus on the abundance. Yeah.
So I think what Ritu ma'am said and what Vishaka ma'am said, a lot of times, most of the times, in fact, we have a timetable which never gets over. Ye karna, ye karna, ye karna, ye karna. And throughout the day, and when we go off to sleep, also we have a timetable in our head. Tomorrow morning, I have to get up, do this for myself, for family, or whatever. So we never actually try and take time out for ourselves. One very small thing which I do, which really sounds silly to most of the people, but I really find that very good for myself. Like, I don't shampoo my hair myself. I always go to the parlor. So because I really like doing that, and it's not too much of expense, but it's something which really I feel I pamper myself by doing that. So small things which we can do for ourselves will make a lot of difference in it's a kind of celebration of yourself, or taking time out for yourself, rather than being, because we will be stuck in daily routine doing things for others, because that's how women are. We are caregivers. We'll always worry about somebody else first and then ourselves. So if we can take out those even if it's half an hour, some time for yourself and do those silly things which make you happy.
The question is for Ritu ma'am. As a people function, in some organizations, how can we show a contribution in the top line, like in the percentage or numerical value? Like in service organization, it's pretty simple. You show the turnover and stuff like that. My last experience was with a fintech, and they're all about numbers. So I think it can be, Ritu ma'am, and even if somebody else could also contribute to the answer. Thank you.
Is that we are not good in numbers as HR. And that is what our counterparts and our business leaders really push us back on. What is important, and I have done it for myself. I trained myself on numbers. When I used to go for presentations, I would 3 times, 4 times go through all the reports, so that if there is any question on the number, I should not fumble. And the second thing what I did is I even changed the way I used to present, because at the end of the day, they are interested in knowing what we have spent on employee engagement and all that. I started talking in attrition numbers. I started talking in terms of productivity. I started talking in terms of how does your employer brand helps you in talent attraction, which is eventually leading to less no-shows. I think we have to, and which I'm telling to everyone in HR, we have to be super sharper than our business leaders. Know what is the total turnaround of the business, how business had an impact by various factors, and what is the role human resources play. And here we have to be leader, not a victim, and we have to double prepare ourselves.